Last night in a dentist's office, a select committee of experts, analysts, and people who are waiting for the accountant too to come out, mostly Joe Mazzulla, fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all of sports. It's an honor and it's a privilege. It's time for Nick's Tears.
Thank you, as always, for the wonderful introduction, Kevin Wildes. Dentist's office are not open at night, but other than that, it was a great job by you.
Sometimes emergency dental work.
Yeah, that is. I guess that is
you
true.
You need a bridge.
Something like that. That's more people your age than mine. All right. We don't have to show you eliminated because there's 16 teams left. They're in the playoffs. Now, once you're out of the playoffs, you don't even make the eliminated thing. You're just off the graphic. Bottom of the tiers. Whatever, man. The Heat deserve a little better than this, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not quite as bad.
They're not the Grizzlies. The Ja reverse layup attempt yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw it. He just seems disinterested, uninterested. The Grizzlies, at least it's a short flight. Memphis to Oklahoma City. This thing can be done quickly. Next tier, only the guy missing the guy. The Bucks, all they have is the guy. Everything else kind of is a mess there. Yeah. But he's giving you 35, 14, 4 on like 60% with good defense. They just got maybe the best game of Bobby Portis's life last night. It didn't matter. The Magic, on the other hand, you watch the Magic, you're like, you know what? If they just had Giannis, they could, like, with Paolo as a number 2.
With those guys?
Right, exactly. If they
so
could
you
just
don't think either of them can be a 1? And I'm not even talking about a championship
35.
team.
No, I
on a contender?
I think Paolo. Paolo can be the best player on a good team. I don't think he can be the best player on a championship team. And so
that's only a handful of guys.
Right, exactly.
I think he can be a 1 on a really good team. Like
sure, and he might be building towards it. The point I'm kind of making is, you feel like, what would be an awesome team?
Yeah.
If you took the Magic and just dropped Giannis on that team. That team would be really, or you know what the
Lakers
Bucks
would be pretty good too.
Or you know what the Bucks could really use? 3 players from the Magic starting lineup on their team right now.
It's a little bit like Aaron Gordon and Jokic.
What? What do you mean?
Former Orlando Magic teaming up with one of the top players. And all of a sudden, like, wow, you were amazing.
And Aaron Gordon was top 5. Was he 5th pick of the draft, something like that?
Slam dunk champion.
All right, Brew's not going to like the name of this tier. It's not the 90s. So listen, Pacers, Knicks, Pistons.
That's a good one.
Not only was the 90s kind of your franchise heydays, also in the 90s, in the Eastern Conference caliber of team, you would have been right there as the second best team. Like, the Bulls were the best team, but it was. What I'm saying is, I think that the level of competition in the Eastern Conference in the 90s was actually considerably lower than it is right now. It was the Bulls and then a Pacers team with 1 All-Star, a Knicks team with 1 All-Star. Yeah, with 1 All-Star.
But most teams today got 1 star.
Right. And, okay, I said Brew's not going to like it.
I just think that's abjectly wrong.
Okay, like I said.
Yeah, he called it.
How many stars does Denver have?
He called it.
I said literally, Brew's not going to like this. See, there we go.
I'm just saying.
Like I said.
What are we doing?
You called it.
Thank you.
You were 100% right.
Got to punch back. Rockets and Timberwolves. For the Rockets, I actually view Game 3 for the Timberwolves very similarly to Game 2 for the Rockets. You absolutely must win this home game. Like, the Timberwolves cannot let the Lakers steal home court right back after that great opening win on Friday. And the Rockets obviously can't let the Warriors go up 2-0 in their building. Both of those teams, I believe, obviously can win these games. I think the Rockets will win, and the Timberwolves are going to come out so energized and so much better role player-wise in Game 3 than they were in Game 2, but they must do it. Worthy conference finals. And I mean that. If Nuggets-Clippers that we have seen through 2 games, it was the winner represents the Western Conference and goes to the finals, we'd be like, pretty good. Like, that feels legitimate. If we were getting Kawhi at this level and this health, Denver with its pedigree, I think we would be like, okay, that sounds about right. The fact that this is a round 1 series, it reminds me of Clippers Spurs, the one that Chris Paul, it went 7. Chris Paul hit the series clinching like runner in, I think like 9-10 years ago. Whereas like, man, both these teams are awesome. One of them is going home in round 1. That's what I feel like watching this. Quietly lurking, Cleveland Cavaliers. It's kind of gone about their business all year long. Win 60-plus games, have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, have a 6th Man of the Year / Most Improved candidate in Ty Jerome, but he was on ballots or he wasn't. The eligibility's weird. Yeah. Nobody can quite figure that out. Except that, and by the way, sidebar, NBA. The rules about minutes played per game to be eligible for awards shouldn't be in effect for Most Improved or 6th Man. Everything else, we get it. For those 2 awards, they're obviously role players, but regardless. Donovan doing, Donovan, we know what Donovan can be in the playoffs historically, if he can still activate it. Darius Garland, but nobody's talking about it. Talk about the Thunder, the Celtics, the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Knicks, all more, the Warriors for sure, than we talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. A grueling path. Lakers, Warriors. So I believe, and I think I know Brew does, Wilds might as well. One of these teams is going to be in the conference finals, but for neither of these teams would just making the conference finals feel like a success, which means what these 2 teams are looking at is what appear to be 2 very physical, very hard-fought round 1 series that if you get through, you then play each other in a series that will be draped in all type of legacy adornment for the stars involved. And then what you'll get is either an Oklahoma City team that almost won 70 games or a Denver team that was a totally new team after firing its coach, as evidenced by it, or a Clippers team with Kawhi Leonard being like, hey, boys, it's 2019 all over again. And you get through that, and it's just going to be Boston waiting for you. So it's a path, but that is one, it is quite the difficult path. The champs, but... Wow. I'm worried about Jaylen Brown's knee. Wilds isn't. I'm worried about Jason Tatum's wrist. Joe Mazzulla isn't. Joe Mazzulla's mad he laid on the ground at all. I am.
Get up.
It was a risk. He has a point.
I'm worried about Kristaps for 2 months of playoff basketball. Worried about Al Horford in what is almost assuredly his final season, getting to the finish line. Like, the Celtics are the best team. They're the best team in the East, clearly. They have an argument that they're the best team in the league. Very, very hard to do what they're trying to do, and not getting through game 1 without their best player showing up on the injury report is a little concerning. Last but not least, Brew, 70 wins down, 14 to go. 70 wins is what the Oklahoma City have this year, 2 games into the playoffs. Yeah. I feel pretty comfortable penciling them in for 72. I think they're getting to 72, and I think they'll do it in short order. And if they do it, even if it does, they weren't discussed this way throughout the year, they are going to be by margin of victory, offensive/defensive rating, total wins, league MVP, one of the greatest single seasons in NBA history. That's what they're staring at. That's the latest edition of NBA Tiers, Bro.
All right. Well, let's go back to the 90s
No.
now. I like the quietly lurking Cavs, but I'm going to say they're loudly lurking.
Oh.
And I'm going to move them up to next to the Lakers and the Warriors. And you laid it out about Boston. That's part of it. I get it. It's a risk. We all hope it's not serious, but
it's something.
Right. And then Jaylen Brown, 6 for 14, I believe, in game 1, 16 points. Like, wasn't his typical self. Is the knee an issue? And then just the Cavs. Look, they were 2-2 in the regular season. I get it. It's the regular season. But every game, I think, was by single digits.
Well, there was the
both sides.
There was the game. Boston was up 25-3 or 28-3, and Tatum was preening, and then they
came back. So each game was decided within single digits. And the Cavs, if you look at that roster, like they're great defensively. They protect the rim, but their bigs are long and athletic, can get out and guard the three. Donovan is tremendous, shoots the three well, but is tremendous at getting to the bucket and finishing. And then they got the great backcourt with not only Donovan, but Darius Garland. And now Ty Jerome. And I'm not just reacting to game one, where he had 28 points in 26 minutes, but his last 5 games, he's averaging 23 points on like 60+% shooting and 64% shooting, 60% from 3. So, and obviously he's not going to keep that up, but my point is their depth, and they're one of the few teams that can shoot the 3 with the Celtics. Mm-hmm. They shoot it better percentage-wise, and they also shoot a lot. They're not one of those teams that, they hit a high percentage of their threes. They just don't shoot it. No, they shoot it 40+ times as well. They just not quite as much as Boston. So I'm starting to like Cleveland a lot in the East. I'm not. My pick's always been Boston, and I'm kind of sticking with that. I'm just saying I'm starting to give the Cavs a better.
Kind of sticking.
I'm sticking with it right now, but I'm giving the Cavs a better chance.
I think Cleveland's path is potentially a little easier than Boston's. I also think on Ty Jerome, a lot of people call Ty Jerome the Steph Curry of Jamal Crawford's.
I can't.
Think about it. Just think about it. A lot of people
Has that actually been said?
I
got to think about that.
For a while.
But what do you mean?
That is out there?
No. I just created
the
that.
Steph Curry
of Jamal Crawford's. Off the bench, great shooter. Come on, think about
5-week-old.
I'm trying to say, is that saying he's a better because he's just a shooter.
He's the Steph.
Not that he's better than Jamal, because he ain't.
He's the Steph Curry of Jamal Crawford. This is what people are saying. What's wrong, Wild? You're mad you didn't think of it?
It's like an internet thing that was outdated. Huh? That is the internet content version when Bruce said something was on fleek.
No.
I don't know if we're doing that.
That landed. I remember it back in the day. That landed.
It wasn't back in the day. It was like 6 weeks ago. There you go. I'm moving the Knicks up just a little bit. For some reason, I don't know why you're so down on the Knicks.
Wait, what?
What?
Are you saying this on national TV? What? You don't know why we're down on the Knicks?
Why?
Because they're 1-1 with a 6 seed in their own building. They've been outplayed for all but 6 minutes.
How are the Lakers doing?
They're 1-1.
2 of what?
A 6 seed.
I didn't say it.
I
should end the segment. Crush that. He walked into
I think the T-Wolves are better than the Pistons. That's what I think.
Brew, I got you.
Go ahead.
You said it importantly. The Knicks have been outplayed in 7.5 of the 8 quarters.
How was if you take out the first quarter of the last game?
The Lakers outplayed the Timberwolves that entire game.
They did?
The Timberwolves outplayed the Lakers the first game. Yes, I do not. Yes, I understand it was 70-60 over the course of 3 quarters.
70-60. Josh, run the numbers.
No.
70-60.
All right, do your Knicks
70. All right, the Wolves had 70. The Lakers had 60.
If you were actually just trying to bring the Lakers down, you should have.
I'm not trying to bring I didn't even bring the Lakers up.
Yes, you did.
No, he didn't. He did.
No, I did not bring the Lakers.
Well, then I brought him up to defend the Knicks.
You brought him up.
Go ahead,
I didn't want to bring him up.
Give us your Knicks takes.
No, but he was acting like being 1-1 to a 6 seed at home.
The Knicks really look good to you.
Have they scored over 100? Have they scored over 95 points?
See, again, this is just about the Lakers.
I'm not even talking about the Lakers. I'm just asking a question.
All right, I want to hear.
Why have the Lakers not scored over 95 points?
Do the Knicks thing.
You kidding me with Luka and LeBron? I didn't realize that, for real. I was trying to talk about New York. We do talk a lot about playoff Luka, how unstoppable.
Luka again.
This is normal. This is not. I'm just saying it's a
Do the Knicks. If you want to do the Lakers, do the Lakers.
I'm sorry.
But if it says the Knicks,
it was a Luka compliment. That was a Luka compliment. Yeah, a star that can score. Yeah. Everyone talks about how good Luka is, but Jalen Brunson is equally as good.
Oh,
in the playoffs, here's the numbers.
Yes.
Last three postseasons. Devin Booker scores a lot of points, loses. Jalen Brunson, 31 points. Then it's Steph, Joker, and then Luka. And we saw the emergence of Jalen Brunson.
Then why didn't
Obviously,
you just say
when Luka
everybody
went out.
talks about how good Steph is? What if it wasn't about the Lakers?
Or Jokic.
Or Joker.
People do talk about those guys quite often. You were
Okay.
complaining he wasn't on the graphic.
Go ahead.
But Luka is the best playoff performer because it's a lot of Luka and Jordan comps.
Okay,
for
sure.
the playoffs.
Whatever
I'm just
you
saying
said.
the last.
Yeah.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
What do you mean?
But here's the thing.
What am I getting,
He-
That's true.
this.
He's averaged 35 in this series, and they're still struggling.
They're 1-1.
Yeah, okay.
They're not supposed to be 1-1. They lost home court advantage to a 6 seed.
Yeah.
That's hadn't been in the playoffs in 6 years.
The Rockets
That was
lost home court advantage
shell-shocked
to
when
a
they saw the
7
playoff
seed.
lights.
The Lakers lost home court advantage to a 6 seed.
Uh-huh. Yes, go ahead.
A 7 seed who's a champion.
There's a better point to be made here.
I
but
can't
just-
even get to them
I'm trying
because
to
you
hear
guys
you.
want to talk about
Because you
Gabe
keep bringing
Vincent.
up the Lakers and now the Rockets and the Warriors.
I'm not.
Go ahead. I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead. Knicks, I want to hear it. I want a reason
Fourth
to
quarter
believe
scored.
in the Knicks.
Kat, I know we had 10 points, but can we show quality, high percentage shooting in the fourth quarter? You guys out here treating Kat like he's Jackson Hayes.
He took 0 Jackson Hayes. He took 0 shots.
I'm saying if he shoots, he'll shoot it well.
Well, then tell him
not
to
gonna
shoot.
shoot. That's
He's
the
going
problem.
to now. Now he knows. It was a feel-out game, too.
Field out game, too.
Finally.
Who put you up to this? Ramsey?
Yeah. Wide open shot.
Wow, good for them. They're missing shots.
Yeah, that's
They
the way it
they missed
goes.
11 wide open shots.
This is for real. I'm not even talking about the Lakers defense.
The Lakers defense. This is a Knicks offense graphic.
But remember,
Why-
in game one when there was wide open shots and the Wolves knocked them down? That was an issue. Nas Reed hit 7 threes or whatever.
Yes.
If you miss wide open shots, hey, happens. Make or miss league. If you're getting hounded at the three-point line, then you have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It was just a bad shooting night. 1 for 10 on wide open threes. That's what I call bad luck. You know what they call that in gambling parlance? Regression to the mean, game 3.
Okay.
Right? Am I right?
Can I just ask
That's
the question?
right.
I got them in 7.
Can I
I'm
just
You
ask
think
the
they
question?
should move up?
Show the
you got to
full-
move it up. Where?
Show the
Where?
full.
Above the
Hold on.
Pacers?
Show
They're the
who are
3
up
seed.
2-0. And above, this is the point
They're
that should have
equal.
been
The
made.
Rockets are
And wait
1-1 if they're lucky.
a moment.
Clippers and the Nuggets
Wait
are
a
1-1.
moment. I just have one question. What is the argument that the Knicks, and I challenge you to answer this by staying with this series.
I've been trying.
What is the argument that the Knicks should be above the Pistons on the tiers?
They really shouldn't be, but you told me to do one team. They're tied. Well, one
So the
had
Pistons
bad
can
luck.
move up
So
too.
the Pistons can move up too.
So where do you want the Pistons and the Knicks?
I didn't do a bunch of Pistons research.
And they should both be above the Pacers?
They shouldn't
I
be
think the
above any of
Knicks
those
should
teams that are
move
above them.
above. They can be over here. They can be the Knicks and the Lakers and the Nuggets can all be together. Hey, we lost home court, and the Rockets. We lost home court advantage. That's the tier could be. We lost
They're
home court
playing
advantage.
different levels of opponent. That's the
Well, we're
thing.
playing college kids.
And where do you want the Pacers in relation to
I only do one team. If we do a lot of teams, what does he say?
No,
He gets mad.
I tried to mention the Lakers.
tried
You
to
jumped
do
down my
that.
throat.
No.
Now you want me to do a thing on the Pacers? Just figure out what you want in a segment. I
here's
can't
what I
do
want.
3 hours of research on 7 different teams.
Here's what I want. I want you to
Unbelievable.
turn off. I want you to delete X from your phone. Stop being intimidated and bullied by people who tweet at you about your Lakers thoughts and come on the TV show and give your actual Lakers opinions as opposed to trying to use the Knicks as a Trojan horse to knock the Lakers.
You told me that the Lakers were the most dangerous offense of all time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.